The following program is a Greenlight Maine production being brought to you in part by Bangor Savings Bank.
It's the way life should be. Greenlight Maine, building Maine's economy. Greenlight Maine, start here, scale here, stay here. It's your Maine and mine, building Maine's economy, one dream at a time. It's the way life should be. Greenlight Maine.
Welcome to Greenlight Maine. This series makes the Maine community stronger. We promote companies and award thousands of dollars in cash for them to invest and expand, and ultimately drive Maine's economy. The matchup today are on the verge of making it big. But before we begin, we want to talk to our judges who are all forward thinkers and want to make these companies soar. So welcome David Pease from Bangor Savings Bank.
Thanks for having me. I'm the Director of Talent and Diversity for Bangor Savings Bank. My job is to retain amazing talent here in Maine and to recruit new talent, and then creating safe, welcoming workplaces for everyone to be their best.
And you do a phenomenal job at that. And welcome Carlos Mello from the Finance Authority of Maine. Welcome back, I should say.
Thank you. And so again, I'm Carlos Mello. I'm the CEO of the Finance Authority of Maine. We are thrilled to be here, and we support businesses and families all over the state. We've supported over $2.5 billion of financing over our 40 years and helped over 300,000 families attain higher education and building the workforce. So we couldn't be happier to be here.
And we're happy to have you. And we have another familiar face. Welcome Marty Groman, who is a growth advisor for Eaton Peabody and also the mayor of Biddeford.
Thanks, Julene. Yeah, it's an honor and a pleasure to serve as the mayor of Biddeford, and I also support startups through Eaton Peabody. We're a full-service law firm with Augusta, Ellsworth, and Portland offices, so I always joke the best outcome for me is if I advise a successful startup and they relocate to Biddeford.
Awesome. I love it. All right, we're going to talk to you in just a few minutes. Our first company is all about babies and families. I'd like to welcome Anna Turcott with Bonsie. Whenever you're ready, just look right at the judges and have fun.
Thank you. When we connect with our babies, it teaches them how to connect with their new world. This first bond lays the groundwork in our ability to form relationships throughout our lifespan. It teaches us how to love. This is called attachment, and skin to skin is the first step in creating this lifelong bond. So what is skin to skin? It's the practice of a new parent holding their baby bare chest and belly to bare chest and belly. Not only is skin to skin associated with creating a secure attachment, it's also associated with numerous health benefits for both moms and babies. Bonsie was born after the birth of my first child, Crew. I was a social worker prior, so I knew the importance of attachment and bonding, so skin to skin was a must for both my husband and I. However, we found out quickly that dressing and undressing our newborn was a pain, so we designed a new way. Our design has two flaps that are easily opened, exposing baby's belly and chest, while keeping their arms, legs, and back in the outfit. We have an elastic waistband that allows for easy dressing and easy as they can get diaper changes. No more fumbling with misaligning snaps or zippers in the middle of the night. Bonsie was launched in 2019 and has since generated over $5 million in revenue. We are in brick and mortar boutiques across the United States and sell in larger retailers, including Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, Macy's, and Amazon. These retailers make up about 50% of our sales, while the other comes directly from our website, bonsie.com. Over 3.6 million babies are born in the United States each year. 10% of these are preterm, making skin-to-skin contact vital for the first 12 months of life. Over $3.4 billion is spent each year on infant apparel just online in the United States. We are currently hitting a tiny percentage of this market, not to mention the international market that we're working on expanding to through this year and next. We live in such a fast-paced culture with so many distractions. It's our hope that when a new mom or dad look down and see their newborn in a Bonsie, they're reminded their most important job is to just be with their baby. Thanks. Let's get skin to skin, baby.
Great pitch, great idea. Every baby should have one of these. All right, David, kick us off.
Yeah, thanks for creating belonging between parents and children. So it sounds like you're doing some great work on sales. So what is your projection for the coming year, and how do you, how are you focused on expanding?
Yeah, so hopefully this year we're projecting on hitting about 2.2 to 2.3 million in sales. So we're really growing our Amazon presence. We do a lot of like direct to consumer marketing through social, but we're really focused on Amazon advertising. We're also moving into TikTok. So TikTok has a store right in the platform. So we think we could see like a 20% bump in sales just from that. Also international market, we're working, I'm currently in export tech, working on getting our products into Canada and then Europe.
Carlos.
That's wonderful. So talk to us about sourcing. How do you get the product? Where does it come from? Where do you put it? How do you get more when you hit success?
Yeah, so we get our products made overseas. So we design them, we pick out the colors, we make the patterns, and then we get them made overseas. So they're all sourced overseas and then sent to us at our warehouse in Brunswick. So we could expand exponentially. It just comes down to money.
Marty.
And I like to ask questions that kind of test the entrepreneur a little bit. So what question are you sick of answering, and what question should people be asking you?
Genius.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to, I get the question, why is it made overseas constantly? And I can give you that answer if you want. We tried to get it made in the United States, and the costs were just out of control. We would have to be selling these for about $80 a unit, and nobody would probably buy them for that. What question do I love answering? I think is, what are your plans for growth? And how did you make it to this point? So I love talking about that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And just for our folks at home, what is the cost?
What's the cost of the product?
Of the Bonsie, yeah.
Okay, so our Footy, which is our best-selling product, is $29.99.
That's very affordable.
Yeah, and we have a 20% discount for any new customers. So.
And your website is?
Bonsie.com.
Awesome. Well, you did a phenomenal job. You are already such a success story, so we just wish you continued growth.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we're going to take a short break. Our next company is recycling and making beautiful things from it, so don't go away. There's a lot more Greenlight Maine coming up next.
At Bangor Savings Bank, we understand that to deliver the best banking experience possible, meeting people where they are matters. That's how we fulfill our fundamental promise that you matter more. We are more than just a bank. We are friends, neighbors, and tireless advocates for the communities we serve. Wherever our customers are in their financial journey, we are there with them every step of the way.
Right into the lens, okay. Famous brands, rugged quality, and the best values anywhere.
This is where you start your future, where you find the skills you need to succeed and the support to help you on the way, where you will find the power of innovation and creativity, and the challenges to help you grow. Find a beautiful environment and a community that inspires, where you can turn your passion into your profession. This is where you start your life. This is where you belong. Thomas College.
Whether you're a small business or a big business, whether you're cutting edge or looking at a traditional industry in a whole new way, whether you're on the coast, in the city, a small town, wherever. If you're an organization here in Maine, if you want to innovate, and if you want to grow, we want to support you. We're the Maine Technology Institute.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. Our next company has figured out a beautiful way to recycle, and I guarantee you're going to want one of these. I'd like to welcome Kim Fenn from Blue Earth Bags, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Kim Fenn, and I'm the founder of Blue Earth Bags. Many entrepreneurs see a problem and create a solution, and that's what I did when I started my company. Running 100% on solar power, Blue Earth Bags creates beautiful bags and totes from recycled grain sacks and coffee sacks. It all started when we were raising backyard chickens. And we realized that their feed sack bags weren't going to get recycled because there was no place to take them to be recycled. So we started making our reusable grocery bags. They were a hit, but I realized not everybody wanted a bag with a pig or a chicken on it. So then we added our coffee sack bags and our brew bags, attracting 2 more groups of consumers. All of our bags are made from the sacks that were discarded from local businesses, coffee brewers, beer brewers, and grain companies. I estimate that there are tens of thousands of the feed sacks being sold in Maine every week. And worldwide, only 9% of plastics ever get recycled. Just because it has the recycling logo on your bag doesn't mean that it's actually being recycled, which is really sad. Our community's response to recycling has been overwhelming and quite frankly has led to an overwhelming supply of bags coming our way, which we just really can't handle. Our biggest stumbling block right now is that we don't have the amount of space to store, sort, and manufacture the bags, not to mention wash them. Because in the warmer months, we wash them outside, and in the colder months, they're in our bathtub. But Blue Earth Bags is on a mission to find new ways to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Maine and the world need to invest in businesses that implement a circular economy, meaning they take products and materials already in existence and create new ones, thus extending the life cycle of those products. And that's what we aim to do. We are inviting Greenlight Maine to join and support us in protecting Maine's environment. With our award money, we would be able to scale our company to recycle a higher capacity of bags and possibly find a path to recycle these bags. Is Greenlight Maine ready to help us keep Maine green? Because an investment in our company is an investment in Maine's future.
Thank you for being so socially responsible. You definitely have our support. Beautiful.
Thank you.
These are beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, David.
Great job, Kim. So how will you spend this money that you'll be earning and securing? What would be your first investments with additional capital?
I think just trying to find a way that we can process the bags a little bit more. Maybe get some kind of a washer or a processor. Because like I said, right now we're doing each one by hand and it's just really time consuming. So figuring out a way that we can actually process them because we have to wash them all. So.
How many of these can you do in a week?
I'm not really sure how many we've actually done in a week. We kind of do a wash a batch and then we kind of cut a batch and then we kind of sew a batch and we really haven't decided exactly how many we can do a week. Depending on if we're doing the coffee sack bags or we're doing the feed sack bags. So we kind of, the demand's been pretty high for us. So we're kind of still not really flying by the seat of our pants, but just doing what we need to get done at the time to fulfill orders and go to shows.
Nice.
Talk to us about the demand. How are you distributing it? Where are people finding out about your name and how
So
you're...
we have a website, just a website online, and we have sent hundreds of these bags across country. I mean, the amount of people who want to recycle, people even want to send us their feed sacks so we could turn around and recycle them. And we ask people not to send them to us because we have enough here in Maine to recycle and not come from other states. We also sell at makers markets in the summer, like the Makers on Maine and in Freeport and Common Ground Fair and things like that.
Marty.
What's the hardest part of the business? Like if you could wave a wand, what would you change?
I think having enough room to actually handle the amount of waste coming our way. Because like I said, we get sacks from local brewers and coffee roasters and backyard farmers and some bigger farmers. And the volume that we could have come in our way, we just can't handle it. So I think just having a bigger enough space to handle all the volume of waste that really needs to be recycled.
Excellent. And could you double your prices?
Double the prices?
Yeah. I always ask that question. Like it gives you a sense of the market.
I think we could increase our prices a little bit on both of our different types of bags. But what I'm really trying to do is just encourage people to buy them so we can circulate them and get them out there.
What is the price?
Our feed sack bags, which is like these, they go for $15. And then our coffee sack bags start around $55 because they're lined, they have zippers and pockets in them.
Nice. Well, they're all very, very gorgeous bags. I'm
Thank
sure you guys are just going to continue to grow, and you are doing so much to help the state of Maine by just doing this within our state. So thank you again.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, we have to take a short break, but don't go anywhere because our judges are going to weigh in when we come back. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Awesome.
With so many Medicare options, it can be confusing. At Martin's Point, we make your Medicare choices easy. Our all-in-one Medicare plans cover doctor's visits, hospital stays, and prescription drugs, dental, vision, and eyewear, fitness and wellness reimbursements, with premiums and copays as low as $0. As one of the highest-rated Medicare Advantage plans in New England, you can feel confident you're covered. Call or visit us online today to request your free Medicare Made Simple guide.
I am truly awestruck by the innovation that exists.
Fame has fundamentally been a part of keeping the business community here resilient and robust.
Our role is to help.
Coming in. To have people in your corner that will guide you through the whole process is really helpful.
When they say, hey, we believe in this, it's a real boost to confidence.
Fame works for Maine, helping businesses and lenders create a bright economic future.
It's about helping Maine grow.
Whatever your business, you need to think about who will benefit from your messages, your insights, your thought leadership, and your advice. Your thoughts and ideas need to be relevant to your audience to connect with them. Having a large audience means you have a large pool of people who will want to hear how you're doing, what you're working on, and what you're thinking. It means you'll have more people who know, like, and trust you, so they want to do business with you. And it means that you'll have access to more opportunities, ideas, events, and even friendships that could last a lifetime. It gives you a network of people with whom you can have a strong, lasting connection in life.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. We just watched two rising stars, and now our judges are going to talk this out. You definitely have your work cut out for you, but let's start with Bonsie, only because she pitched first.
Absolutely. So again, what a great concept. Again, really warms my heart to see that we're trying to connect with our children immediately and just really creating a sense of belonging, right? Which is all about DI. So again, I think they got off to a great start, really have, I think, penetrated the market, have really differentiated themselves in the market, and I think gotten off to a great start. I think their biggest opportunities are how far do they want to go? And I think really need to project, again, what is it they want to do, how big do they want to be, and how do you size up for that. The other thing would be is I would love to see them find more opportunities for jobs in Maine for their product.
Yes, and it's just the two of them, so it seems like ready to scale, and they have an opportunity here, which you guys talked about because you do learn a lot off camera, so she does want to hire. Okay, Carlos.
So building on all of the same things that David said, I think they've got a wonderful distribution system. They've done wonderfully in social media. They're on top of it. The concern is, and they've got the ability to grow because they've connected into the international distribution system of clothing. So that's wonderful. Challenge is that how do they help Maine grow? And that and how does it become, building on that sustainability, how does it become different and unique, and what is the brand that they're going to build? So it's a wonderful story. I'm really excited about it. I just look forward to the future.
I did like that she said there really isn't any competition in this space, so maybe that's part of her main story, right?
Yep, it could be.
And I think the scalability of Bonsie is very good. I think this is a business that could get much bigger quickly, and there's a lot of opportunity there. I also like that they've been able to protect some of their intellectual property. There's a great trademark and a logo. I think that's something they can really build on. Fellow judges had some great ideas about supplying the product in corporate gift bags and when an employee has a child and things like that. So I think there's a lot of upside there, but I do share the concern. I'd love to see some way to bring at least some of the manufacturing into Maine if there's opportunities to do that. Maybe it's a new product or something like that.
Sure, okay, and just to recap, $5 million in sales, nothing to sneeze at. She's in Macy's, she's in Nordstrom, she's in Bloomingdale's, she's on Amazon, so she really is getting herself out there and growing, which is great. Okay, Blue Earth Bags. Kim and her husband Rusty, they're also a two-person team. I mean, you're the HR guy.
My heart is just full today. So environmentally, socially responsible, and that they're giving their small proceeds to nonprofits to help people with food security and just making their community a better place and making our world a greener place. Again, it's all about capital and creating infrastructure so that they can produce more and that it can go beyond what they're doing in their homes, right? So it's really about capital and an infrastructure to expand this to a much greater market.
Right. So she's done $30,000 in sales, maybe 400 to 500 bags. I mean, she's really starting to take off. She can't even handle what she's getting for orders. So that is really a good problem to have, right, Carlos?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you couldn't have more of a difference where they are in their scalability. Socially, it's just so wonderful what they're trying to do and what the impact on the environment and the community and alike, and eliminating single-use plastic. All of that is just tremendous. Now, how do you scale it? How do you take what you're doing, in your home and bringing it at a scale that will really get to the issue? So it's just a different place in their curve as to where they are and from where they've started as a company, but wonderful, wonderful story.
Absolutely. And here we have our growth advisor.
I grew up on a farm milking the cows every day. We went through so many of these feed bags. We'd stack them up. You're always trying to find things to do with them, but it is true. I mean, the raw material here is essentially endless. This woven fiber is difficult to recycle in a different way, and using it like this does have lots of potential. And I always like a business that creates an emotional connection with the customer. I think this one is particularly strong, where the customer feels as though they're part of a solution, part of something bigger. So I think that's really exciting. If there was a way they could kind of solve their manufacturing problem, maybe with an in-home network of stitchers or something like that, then I think that would be a really good next step.
Excellent feedback by all three of you. Okay, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to tell you who gets the green light. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Albin, Randall, and Bennett, committed to providing accounting solutions to Greenlight Maine startups, working with businesses and organizations that operate locally and nationally. ARBCPA.com.
Whether you're a small business or a big business, whether you're cutting edge or looking at a traditional industry in a whole new way, whether you're on the coast, in the city, a small town, wherever. If you're an organization here in Maine, if you want to innovate, and if you want to grow, we want to support you. We're the Maine Technology Institute.
At Bangor Savings Bank, we understand that to deliver the best banking experience possible, meeting people where they are matters. That's how we fulfill our fundamental promise that you matter more. We are more than just a bank. We are friends, neighbors, and tireless advocates for the communities we serve. Wherever our customers are in their financial journey, we are there with them every step of the way.
This is where you start your future, where you find the skills you need to succeed and the support to help you on the way, where you will find the power of innovation and creativity and the challenges to help you grow. Find a beautiful environment and a community that inspires, where you can turn your passion into your profession. This is where you start your life. This is where you belong. Thomas College.
I am truly awestruck by the innovation that exists.
Fame has fundamentally been a part of keeping the business community here resilient and robust.
Our role is to help.
Coming in. To have people in your corner that will guide you through the whole process is really helpful.
When they say, hey, we believe in this, it's a real boost to confidence.
Fame works for Maine, helping businesses and lenders create a bright economic future.
It's about helping Maine grow.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. Our judges have deliberated, and it's time to find out who takes the next step. Judges, I'm going to count you down. 3, 2, 1. And that means Bonsie gets the green light and is moving on in the competition. Congratulations to Anna. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. We appreciate your comments and love your support. So please continue to like us on social media, and you can check out all of our episodes on greenlightmaine.com. We'll be back next week with 2 more inspiring companies. Until then, have a safe and successful week. Congratulations.
Greenlight Maine would like to thank our premier partner, Bangor Savings Bank, our corporate partners, and our sponsors. Thank you.